What is the one Malaysian food that you couldn't find in Melbourne?
Actually, we could find everything there because like they made there were a lot of Malaysians inside, right there.
Mhm.
So there wasn't anything that I really missed. Oh wait, except for roti canai, which I don't think it's comparable to Malaysian ones. Yeah.
So we'll have a roti canai after this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Hi everyone, welcome to our first episode of Around the Couch. Around the Couch is a very special build-up to our YM anniversary, which we will be celebrating on the 16th of May. This year, we are celebrating our 6th anniversary. And we are very honored and glad that we can have 7 guests here to share with us their journeys that they have in YM. And so do keep an eye out, look out, stay tuned on our social media, even as we release a series of episodes of their stories. We are here now in L5, where we have not gathered together for the past 1.5 years. I remember when we were here in L5, we gathered together as a physical community just to worship and just to hear the word of God. It is also here in L5 where we receive this promise of growth that YM has from God. And today we are just going to hear one of these stories of this growth. And for this episode of Around the Couch, we will be talking to Emily on regards of her personal revival journey and how she came to serve in YM. Hi Emily,
Hi.
how are you?
Good.
So Emily, I understand that you spent 1.5 years in Melbourne studying abroad. Just want to ask you, when you were in Melbourne for that past 1.5 years, what is the one thing that you miss the most in Malaysia?
The food. Definitely Malaysian food.
What is the one Malaysian food that you couldn't find in Melbourne?
Actually, we could find everything there because like they made there were a lot of Malaysians inside, right there.
Mhm.
So there wasn't anything that I really missed. Oh wait, except for roti canai, which I don't think it's comparable to Malaysian ones. Yeah.
So we'll have a roti canai after this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And so we really want to hear from you, after 1.5 years of studying in Melbourne, can you just share with us your story of how you journeyed back here, and settling back here in church?
I think my journey back, settling back here in Malaysia wasn't an easy one because when I came back, I had this expectation of how a community should be because I had a very close-knitted community back in Melbourne.
All right.
So, and also at that time, YM was just newly formed, and it was a merge between varsity group and also the YC group. So it was still quite messy, and especially structurally. So I think that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to stay in the ministry and also in church, in FGA. Yeah, and I also remember when there was just a brief conversation with God that I told him that I really didn't want to stay, and I didn't want to stay in this church also. So that began the whole option of like exploring other churches, like what international students will normally do when they come back.
Right.
Yeah.
And really hearing from you, you were having a difficult time, a tough time, after coming back and all. What was that turning point for you, when you then decided, that this is the place you want to serve in, this is the place that you want to root yourself and grow in, this is the place, that you want to serve in the campus group, the YM's campus group?
I think my turning point was when I remember God was telling me at that point to step out in faith and to believe in Him and trust Him wherever He was going to lead me to. At that point, I was like, no, because naturally I am a person who loves to plan and I'm afraid of uncertainty. So I would try my best to stay away from all uncertainties in life. Yeah, and I remember at that point, I just I wanted more control over my life than to surrender it to God. Yeah.
Really hearing from you, it seems like you had a lot of, a personal struggle there, and a lot of discussions and debates in a sense with God, but you stepped out in obedience to what He asked you to do, and so much of it is that you encountered or you received your personal revival journey. What did you really had to do in order to receive this personal revival journey?
For me, the next few months after I made that decision, I intentionally put myself to be more involved in CG and to be more involved in community work. So it was baby steps for me, small steps of progression. And during that period of time, I remember God started to reveal His heart to me for this ministry and also my purpose here. And it was also during that point where I started developing a more intimate relationship with Him, with the time that I spent in devotions and in prayer. And I discovered that just deeper revelations of who He is and His nature, that He is a good God and that He will take care of me and He will guide me through and lead me to where I'm meant to be. Yeah, so looking back, I would say that to my younger self, not to be so afraid and to not give up so easily and to not lose hope, because God is a good God and that we can trust in Him. Yeah.
And I think it's not just to your younger self, but also to the rest of us here, and also for all of us that are watching this, that truly YM is a place where we can encounter God together as a community, and a place that I believe that we will also encounter and have our personal revival journey because of what God has done for us. Thank you very much once again, Emily, for sharing with us this intimate journey with us. And for that is our latest episode of Around the Couch. Do stay tuned for the next one.